The lies from the IDF are getting so aggressive and so ridiculous that even uh, even CNN is reporting the lies, like revealing the lies of the IDF. This has to do with the IDF claiming that the reason they destroyed a cemetery, which I've also brought you that story in the past few days, that IDF has been repeatedly uh, destroying cemeteries, destroying graves. They try and make some reason. In this case, on CNN, they're claiming that there's tunnels underneath the cemetery, and that's why they have to destroy the cemetery. But anyway, let's, believe it or not, watch a second of CNN. Well, hold on. I want to go up here. So here's the IDF guy trying to tell him it's not safe to go view the tunnel that would prove why they needed to destroy this whole cemetery.
But what about if we don't film it? We just look with our eyes.
And then you might fall in, the whole thing can collapse. So you have to walk to the edge is not secured, it can collapse, there's machinery, so on. It's not something I'm going to take a risk on.
So he's worried that if he were to show from a distance, the CNN reporter, the tunnels that prove why they needed to destroy a cemetery, defile the dead, that the guy would fall in. That's what he says, which of course is laughable. You can keep somebody far enough away, they don't just fall in. Anyway, but this also goes to show that CNN is allowed to film at all because the IDF lets them. So it's very rare that that much is shown or told to us out of CNN and these mainstream outlets that the IDF hasn't allowed them to see. But as you'll see, CNN in a moment does one of the most rare things our mainstream media ever does, which is actually fact check what this genocidal maniac has told them.
Sorry.
The Israeli military later provided this drone footage showing the tunnel shaft we entered and another one nearby. CNN geolocated the footage using this satellite image. This outline shows where the cemetery once stood, and these are the two tunnel entrances clearly outside the graveyard. As for the tunnel they say they found here, where the cemetery once stood, the military never provided any evidence.
Okay, so there you are. Even CNN fact-checking the IDF, which is lying out their ass and their face holes about the fact that they have to destroy these cemeteries. Now, as I mentioned a couple of days ago when I brought you this story of them defiling cemeteries in Gaza, it of course raises the question, okay, well, the IDF's lying about there being tunnels under these cemeteries, so they destroyed the cemetery for some other reason. So what is that reason? I mean, it's an easy question to come up with. There must, if there's no tunnels there, what? They don't get any more victims. It doesn't help with ethnic cleansing. So what's it? It doesn't help with genocide. Why destroy these cemeteries? Well, it actually does help with ethnic cleansing in terms of cultural genocide, in terms of destroying the entire culture of a people and making sure they have no reason to come back to these areas. If you keep their cultural heritage sites, if you keep their cemeteries, if you keep their places of worship, et cetera, then they are very much tied to this land to the tune of hundreds of years culturally. But Israel is trying to wipe away all of that. They want to wipe away their cemeteries, wipe away their ancestry there. They want to wipe away the culture that is in these places and was in these places. And Israel thinks they can do that both by killing as many people as they can, also by killing academics and those who actually are the most informed on the history, the culture, etc., but also by destroying these places of prayer, these cemeteries, these other things that would tie people to a land. And again, this is so gut-wrenchingly repulsive, and yet it is also genocide 101. If you want to destroy a people and erase them and erase their connection to the land, this is what you do. You kill as many as you can. You kill the journalists, you kill the academics, you kill the medics and the hospital system so that as many die from disease as possible. These are all, honestly, it's a checklist of what to do for genocide. You also don't care if you're killing children because that actually helps, because you're taking out the next generation, which, as I've repeatedly said on this show, the average for number of children, percentage of children killed in modern warfare, because believe it or not, bombs are getting a little more, a little more strategic, a little more specific into who they kill, in terms of where you're aiming these things. It's not cannonballs anymore. But of course, Israel's using dumb bombs intentionally. They're not actually aiming them very strategically. But what I was going to say is the average in modern war is 6 to 8% children killed in modern war. In Gaza, it's 43% or 45%, depending on the day. And that's because Israel is doing what most countries don't do nowadays, which is just try and obliterate everyone.